I want to talk about that race. Ryan Timms was out there on you just a little bit. Where did you feel that you were better than Ryan during that race last weekend?
Well, I was in the same heat race with Ryan too, and I started right behind him. And with the style of track that is, we got kind of spread out in the heat race. Only 8 laps, so we got spread out and kind of just had a good all hot lap session there, and didn't really get to do a whole lot of stuff for the heat race, and was able to start first, drew the 4, and so started the first couple of rows of the A feature, and had a really good starting spot. I knew Ryan was going to be really hard to beat. Being on the front row. To get out there and have some good laps for him. And I just kind of figured out I'd just stay in line and, just try to get some good consistent laps. I figured it was going to be such a long race, and I imagined we would have been in lap traffic. And, really, I didn't imagine I was going to catch Ryan a whole lot if we were in open track. And I had to look for some traffic. So thankfully we got in it pretty quick, honestly. And that's when it kind of got a little hairy. I got it where Ryan was sliding a few guys and then make it where I could get a little bit of run on him. And I run on him off of 4 one time, just not a good enough drive to get down into 1 and slide him, and decided to get back in line. And, really the lap traffic made it hairy there for a bit. We actually got slid by Westbrook for second, and the caution came out. So kind of reset the field there and had a few laps with open traffic. And, once we caught the end of the field, it was kind of game on. I knew we were going to get Ryan to get off the top once we got to lap traffic. So really I just waited for the right time and tried to make sure I had my good run going once he did go off the top. And the way it worked out, I just had a little bit of a good run down the back straightaway with some lap traffic in our view, so we were able to kind of go for the slider in 3 once we had a good run down the back straightaway. And, I knew once I got to the top of 4 that I had to get back on it pretty quick and get into 1, and I knew the slider was coming from him. So, with how tricky turns 1 and 2 was, it really wasn't ideal for me to be burying it off in there in turn 1 with the slider coming. But I knew it was coming, so I was able to, drive it in pretty deep and see what we had going. And luckily, I had enough momentum. We were able to get back around them off 2, and I knew at that point I just had to go out there and just keep hitting my marks and try to stay on the top as much as I can. And last lap I had to slide a lap car, and it made it where he could get a good run down to 3. So, that was another time I just told myself just bury it in there as hard as I can. And,
right.
Thankfully we were able to get a good run off the 4 and take home the victory.